And wait for the drum roll, the wait is officially over! As per reports, of course almost every single media outlet is circulating, Hollywood writer strikes are over, and we are here for the big reveals. Almost all our favorite movies and their actors are back to their seats, with quite a few blockbusters lined up just around the corner. Not just that, Five Nights at Freddy's is releasing on the 27th of October, so make sure to make a reminder for that. With that, how about we take a spin around for all the other updates too? Okay, so first things first. The Stephen King horror classic, Pet Sematary, will have its prequel, Pet Sematary Bloodlines, premiere on Paramount Plus on October 6th. And yes, fans are over the moon. Director Lindsay Anderson Beer has said she hopes to explore more of the Pet Sematary universe in future installments. For those of you who are unaware, the prequel delves into Judd Crandall's past, shedding light on unanswered questions from prior versions and opening up new avenues for research into the sinister history of the Pet Sematary. The future of it all? Well, this is all I have to offer you right now. In a parallel universe though, and mind you, it's a good one for fans of the Five Nights at Freddy's film series, director Emma Tammy has some enticing teases for the next installments. The film adaptation of the popular game is set to be released on October 27th, promising shocks and thrills, and starring Josh Hutcherson as the troubled security guard Mike. According to her latest interview, Tammy gushed about Josh Hutcherson in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, and she even said she hoped there would be additional movies in the series if the first one did well. This means a successful Five Nights at Freddy's would put Blumhouse on the horror franchise map, among other studios' hits like Paranormal Activity, The Purge, and Insidious. So listen up, fans of the dark. Circle October 27th on your calendars. You won't want to miss this. Now, not to disappoint you guys, but the repercussions of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA work stoppages may cause shooting delays for Superman Legacy, the first picture in the reimagined DC universe. The film's production was originally scheduled to begin in the early part of 2024, but it is now planned to begin next spring. The ongoing SAG-AFTRA strike has caused the delays, which have been made worse by the recent writer's strike that ended with a contract deal. Still, the launch date of Superman Legacy on July 11th, 2025 has not changed, so that's something to live by. And since we can't always have nice things only, remember, everything is to be taken with a pinch of salt. At the same time, the January 2025 release date for the M3Gan sequel has been announced as a further bit of movie business news, with no specific day right now. And the franchise's potential future has been hinted at by the early casting details as well. So much is happening, I tell you! This time around, despite the potential dangers, Gemma, the protagonist, who is trying to stop the M3Gan project from moving further, may find herself at the center of the sequel's efforts to decipher Funkai's schemes. And while we don't have much on the plate for M3Gan right now, let's just hope it lives up to our spirits. And as it is widely said, in the world of entertainment, the show must go on. No doubt, ever since it started, the SAG-AFTRA's ongoing walkout put a shadow over the Hollywood film business. But its resolution today is crucial to the industry's much-anticipated resumption of production. As a result, studios, networks, and streaming services are keen to stir up their top film and TV projects, such as the next installments in iconic franchises like Star Trek and Superman Legacy, and highly anticipated new shows like Abbott Elementary and Wednesday. Not to forget, fans can only watch the same shows over and over again for so long. That means if the strike had gone on for a few more weeks, the 2023-2024 television season would have had to rely primarily on unscripted programming and imports from international streaming and television markets. And even though they were the first to go when the writers went on strike on May 2nd, late-night talk programs are now in a position to lead the comeback. With the actors' strike still ongoing and no discussions in sight, a return to regular programming for scripted shows may be delayed for a while. On the Hollywood front though, several large-scale film productions may quickly resume pre-production. For example, both the Star Trek remake and the Rainbow Six adaptation from Tom Clancy are about to undergo script rewrites at Paramount. Warner Brothers, meanwhile, can't wait for Matt Reeves to return to the shadows of Gotham in a sequel to The Batman. Production on other projects, such as Minecraft and James Gunn's Superman Legacy, is set to begin in the spring if all parties involved can reach an agreement on compensation and scheduling. Universal is also keeping an eye on the clock as it prepares for a new draft of Fast X Part 2, which is now scheduled to blast into theaters on April 4th, 2025. On top of that, this is also great news for the many productions now waiting for the green light to resume shooting. because now that the strikes are over, the production on several major films can resume, including the highly anticipated sequel to Gladiator, which was several months into filming before production was halted in Malta in July due to actor picketing. Now, similar to Deadpool 3, Beetlejuice 2, and Clint Eastwood's Juror No. 2, still in production are films like Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2, which still have some scenes to film. So unless they do that in time, there's no other way for them to release on their preset schedule. But even if the strikes are over, and we will now get to see all of our favorite blockbusters, there will still be a logistical issue because of the expected influx of output, mainly because it will be a competitive process to find available soundstage space and good shooting sites. But that's for the production team to figure out, right? For now, all eyes are on the horizon. Fingers crossed for a clearer picture of the industry's future. So try staying close for any other such updates. Moving on, there's good news for all you dog lovers out there too, as Paw Patrol 3 is all set to make a comeback already. That's right. Paramount Pictures has officially approved the production of the third Paw Patrol film, which will premiere in theaters in 2026. This news arrives just in time for the September 29th launch of Paw Patrol: The Mighty Movie, the second installment in the film series that has fans visiting their cinemas quite frequently nowadays. Also, the Paw Patrol movies, for those unfamiliar, are adaptations of Spin Master Entertainment's hugely successful animated kids series of the same name. This series, which started in 2013 and is now in its 10th season, was originally broadcast on TV Ontario in Canada before being picked up by Nickelodeon and eventually joining the Paramount family, where Nickelodeon Movies and Spin Master's previous collaboration, Paw Patrol the Movie, opened to over $40 million in domestic box office receipts in 2021 and made an astounding $144 million worldwide. So you can imagine the kind of hype it's getting and why. On the other hand, Cal Brunker, who directed the first two films, is back at the helm for the third. In other news, James Gunn has revealed some details about what is and isn't canon in the newly revised DC universe. The DC Extended Universe will wrap up by the end of this year with the release of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Although DC Studios, now led by Gunn and Peter Safran, are starting fresh with the release of Gods and Monsters. So even while fans are looking forward to the next DC Universe film or TV show, they need more information on what will remain consistent with the DC Extended Universe. You see, some of this uncertainty was cleared up when James Gunn said, "Nothing is canon until Creature Commandos next year," referring to the upcoming prequel to the DC Universe. According to him, Superman Legacy, the first official DC Studios film, will be the genuine beginning. Gunn even admits that the complexity may confuse fans, which is reasonable given the lack of hints about the show's future continuity. But it is what it is, you guys. On the other hand, Gunn has also hinted that some of the original cast members may return, and that there may be connections to other DC films, TV shows, and animation works. However, Creature Commandos and Superman Legacy serve as the beginning of the DC Universe canon. Having said that, the upcoming Frozen 3 has received a favorable update in the world of cartoon magic, and this is cause for celebration for Frozen lovers everywhere. You heard that right! Announced in February, the sequel will bring Anna and Elsa back to theaters 4 years after the release of Frozen 2. And although Jennifer Lee, the film's original director, won't be in charge this time around, she did provide some encouraging comments about the third installment. In a recent interview, Lee, who is not directing the sequel, provided an upbeat preview of the magical world of Frozen. She didn't reveal any information about the film's premise, but she did express enthusiasm for the fresh ideas that would be addressed in it. So with Bob Iger's statement that Frozen 3 is in the works, we can definitely look forward to a brand new adventure in Arendelle. For now, the specifics of Frozen 3's plot remain unknown, but one thing is certain: it will expand upon the fantastic elements introduced in the previous films. It's also possible that Anna and Elsa will go on an even bigger journey in the third edition of the Frozen movie, given that Frozen 2 brought in the mythology and world of the film. That said, which of the upcoming movies are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comments below, while making sure you have slammed the bell icon to stay in the loop for more.